Game of Thrones is back, man. Like A Night of the Seven Kingdom, the new spin-off series of the Game of Thrones universe is out. 5 episodes are out. The last episode is yet to come out. It will be on Monday, 9 a.m. in the morning. There could be a reaction if you want. Let me know in the comments. But I'm so happy watching this show, and I think it's quite popular now. Everyone's watching it. The last episode, episode 5, has 10 on 10 rating on IMDb, and I think that's the highest rating ever for a episode for a TV show. Now, if you have not seen Game of Thrones, if you have not seen House of the Dragon, which is also a prequel series, I think you can still watch it. You can understand the basic story. It's a simple story about a knight who, and where it happens. But if you have seen Game of Thrones and you understand this universe and the world, you will be more invested. You'll understand everything much better. The other things that are going on apart from the main plot line, and why the certain things have big impact. And I feel like at the start of this show, right, the first episodes, they feel so different than Game of Thrones. There's kind of a humor. It's more heartfelt, which is not Game of Thrones universe at all. And that was surprising. It was refreshing. There's no kings and there's no, throne and all. It's about just one knight who wants to, become better, who wants to live up to his master. And it's very simple story about this one guy in this whole universe, simple man. And it's about the story of a simple people in this big world of kings and queens and everyone. And then how slowly it moves from there to the big part of what this universe is. And I know where the story goes, what happens 50 years afterwards, like what happens with these characters, what it leads to. Like the story of this show is basically in between of House of the Dragons and Game of Thrones. So what we are seeing right now is, I think, 50 or 80 years before Game of Thrones, where Game of Thrones starts, and then it moves linearly. This show is taking place 100 years after House of Dragon, where it will end of later. Like it's based on those books and those stories. So after that 100 years, we have Night of the Seven Kingdoms, and then after 100 or 80 years, we have Game of Thrones. Don't quote me, maybe the years are here and there, but it's basically in the middle, and those two exist later. So if you're someone who have fallen in love with Game of Thrones but was disappointed by that ending and never got into House of Dragon, like there's a moment in, I think, episode 4 where the theme of Game of Thrones come in, and it gave me goosebumps, which I used to remember I used to get watching Game of Thrones. That's like the peak. They touched it, and then next episode was outstanding. So very excited to check out the finale. If you want, let me know if you want a reaction to it. We'll be talking to some other creators about it. Very excited. I think a GOT fan in me has come alive.